Hi, I'm Nancy Tartaglione, international box office editor and senior contributor at Deadline. And in this edition of Deadline's studio at the Red Sea Film Festival, I am joined by, you know him from True Lies, you know him from Ballers. You will soon get to know him from Naples to New York, Mr. Omar Miller.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for being with us.
I'm super excited.
We have a couple of things to talk about, but first, you have not been to this festival. You've not been to Saudi before.
Never.
This is your first time, so.
No, I'm 12 hours into the country. So far, I'm loving it.
Okay.
Lots of heat, lots of sweat, and some delicious food so far. A lot of hospitality. They're really going out of their way to make this a comfortable festival experience.
Yeah, and also, of course, you have a movie in the
Yes.
festival, Naples to New York, or
Yes.
Napoli,
Napoli New York. Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
yeah.
It's playing very well.
And it's only recently opened in Italy. It just opened like
Just
a week
opened.
ago or 2 weeks ago, right?
That's it.
Okay.
November 21st it opened, and it's doing gangbusters numbers.
Right, and it's a very particular. I mean, the story is, two kids in 1949 are stowaways on a ship, a merchant ship, right?
Merchant ship
from Naples, from Naples to headed to America, looking for a better life, and you play an American cook.
I play George, the chef that finds them.
Right.
Who's also a little bit of the catalyst for them to stow away on the ship, because I have an interaction with one of the kids,
Right.
and he then comes looking for me, because George likes the old bottle. So,
Right.
yeah, it's this is one of the few times as an actor where you sign up for one film and end up making another film, but that other film is better than the film that you thought you signed up for. Because I know when I watched the movie, especially when I watched it with an audience, I said, wow, he's crafted this beautiful, almost like a fairy tale, but that deals with real issues, relevant issues.
Right.
And yet the purity and the innocence of the kids, you need to see it. You need to see it to understand it, but it touches people, and I've seen it touch people, and I love that.
That's so nice. And we should say it's Gabriele Salvatore, right?
That is
Who's the director.
actually the most important thing that neither one of us has said. Yeah. So working with Salvatore, I would probably argue in Italy, he's probably the favorite Italian director working today. And the people of Italy loved him. Everywhere we went when we were filming, they would run up on him like it was their cousin. It was great. And he's in top form on this one.
Okay, there's something else very particular about this film that I want to talk about, but just before we get to that, how did you become involved in it?
Strangely enough, I got a phone call last year after we finished filming the first season of True Lies from an old friend who was the first assistant director on Miracle at Sant'Anna, which is the film that I did with Spike Lee, with also the other lead in this film, Pier Francesco Favino.
Right.
And he said, we're working on a film with a very beloved Italian director, and I read the script and I said, I know George, and he doesn't speak English, so if you don't mind, we can hop on a Zoom and we can speak about it. Okay. And I'm so happy he did. That man's name is Roy Bava, and Roy looked out for me, and next thing I know, I was on a plane to Trieste. We shot the film in Naples and Trieste and parts of Croatia. It was a very enlightening experience.
Right. It's nice when you get to do something that's kind of off the beaten path.
Totally different.
So to speak. Yeah.
Totally different style of filmmaking.
Right.
Because it wasn't about commercialism.
Right.
It really felt like you were doing something. Really felt like you were making art.
Right.
And every frame that Gabriele shot mattered to him.
Right.
But it wasn't so precious that you couldn't play or you couldn't be open.
Right.
Which is a great feeling as an actor.
Right. I want to ask you if there was any perhaps added pressure because of this very particular thing about this story, which is that it was actually written by Federico Fellini before he was a filmmaker, I believe in the 1940s, right? And obviously he never made the movie, but so does that add like a kind of, I don't know, an air of something like, my goodness, this is Fellini.
I mean, you can't, you definitely don't want to mess it up.
Right.
You got people coming over for Thanksgiving and you don't want to burn the turkey. Right. So it is, there was that, but we always felt like we were in very capable hands.
Right.
And Gabriele knew exactly what he was doing. And when I saw him at the premiere, when I watched the film, I said, wow, this is great. He said, yeah, we make it a jazz. And it was great because he meant,
Oh,
we
love
mixed
that.
it up. And
love
that's what he
that.
did. It was great.
I love that. Okay, so let's turn a little bit to what you're doing now. You are you're in Ryan Coogler's next film,
Oh, yeah.
right? Sinners.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I think that one's going to be a whopper.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But especially since now it seems like people are interested in going back to the movies.
Absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
a movie you want to see in the theaters. It's an IMAX film.
Yeah.
He's another director. I got blessed and I got to work with back-to-back directors who really care.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes when you work in television, with the directors changing all the time,
I was going to say they change often.
It's
yeah.
not that there's something wrong with them. It's just that it's not a continuity,
Right.
And so when you get back in the film world, which is where I started and I worked for so long, it's so wonderful to remember people wanting to make art and something that's not disposable. It's not in this world of content. There's still people who make films,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. What is I know that movie's not coming out until next
March
year.
7th.
In March, right?
Yeah.
So it's all done?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go do some ADR, but yeah,
Right.
the film is, the cut is done, and apparently they're very happy with it. I haven't seen it yet, but I know that when we made it, I've been doing it for a little bit, and you can usually feel when you have something. And on the night of wrap, the editors put together 10 minutes of just an assembly of 10 minutes, and I could have watched the whole 2-hour movie just standing there with my feet hurting. I was like, wow, this looks crazy. And so it's
Excellent.
really exciting. And it's not safe. He's making something creative.
Yeah.
And in that, it's multi-genre. It's like, it's either going to be, wow, that was brilliant, or it's like, what were they going for?
Well, let's hope it's the former, man.
I'm betting on it being the former. I mean, Ryan is as good as anybody behind the camera today.
Okay.
I stand by that.
And anything else on the horizon?
Not right now. That's the main thing. I'm working on some other stuff, but it's nothing I can publicize yet.
Right.
So I'm happy with these two. Very happy with these two films. And this one in particular, this is the second film I've done with Italian children that has taken me all around the world. And
That's so
there's
great.
something to that. I feel so fortunate. And I really hope people see this film because it's important, because in the world right now that's just torn up with war, which makes it torn up with war refugees, this film deals with that, but from the lens of World War II. And unfortunately, we're still facing a lot of the same issues today.
Okay, well, let's not end on a
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean it down. I didn't,
No, I
and
know.
Well, and part of that's funny. I'm glad you said that because I didn't even really recognize how that could sound. I think that some of what we're dealing with, and you
No, I
see
mean, it's
in
important.
the film.
I don't mean,
Oh yeah. No. But on the positive tip, some of what we're dealing with in the film that resonates as well is hope.
Right.
Because this film, Napoli New York, is not going to bring you down. You leave this theater leaving feeling good.
Awesome.
It's an inspirational piece.
Okay, va bene.
Va tutto bene. Grazie, ragazza.
Thank you so much, Omar, for being with us, and enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thank you.